Hey YouTube, this is James from Team Collection coming at you with it's Macro Rabbit deck profile. Yes, this deck is pretty popular right now, obviously because the Rabbit reprints, and tour guide reprints and all that stuff, so it's essentially become a budget deck now. Yeah, so here's the deck profile. Obviously you still have your two bunnies. You have to run two. There's really no need for explanation on that. I mean, you got to. And then you have your triple Sabersaurus and triple Cobblezalls. Those are your targets for the rabbits, obviously. I mean, generally, if you open up first turn rabbit, you want to go first turn Cobblezalls because then you can draw into your 1900 beaters later on. And Cobblezalls gives you access to go into Abyss Dweller and get Abyss Dweller's boost to 22. Next, you have your triple Guiva. He's your other dinosaur. He destroys a monster by battle, special summons it. It can attack, but you don't really need to attack with it because you're just going to overlay with it. And he's pretty good. There's not really much explanation needed for this deck. It's just everybody knows what it does. Double Spirit Reaper. Spirit Reaper allows you to just sit on it until you draw your outs, and you can poke, discard a card, and when you have Macrocosmos face up on board, it doesn't get sent to the graveyard, it gets removed, so it's even better. Yeah. Next you have two tour guides, and then Singin and Night Assailant. Obviously the tour guides easy exceeds. Singin lets you search for your rabbit, or another tour guide if you really need to. And then Night Assailant is a 1-for-1, so he's also pretty good. And all of them you could use to exceed with. On to spells. Triple Lance. Some people run two. I say three is the best way to go, because it can be used offensively and defensively. It can be used if you need to get over an opponent's monster. You can lance their monster during a damage step when they can't chain the Mirror Force or anything like that. If your opponent's trenchals you when you summon Rabbit or something like that, be like, screw you, Lance. Yeah, it's just a pretty good card. Way better than Dress. Dress is a horrible card. Two Smashing Grounds. Yes, I thought about playing, what's that card? Alright, Soul Taker, yeah, Soul Taker, there we go. But the thing with me is, like, I don't want them to gain the 1000. I mean, that's just, I'd rather push for game as soon as possible, so Smashing Ground does the job, and, works, in my opinion, just as well as, Soul Taker. Two MSTs, two's enough. Three, it becomes too cloggy for my opinion, and you don't want dead draws in this deck. You just want to be able to draw into your outs. Next, I believe, is the one-ofs. Yes, so we have the one heavy, obviously. I mean, that's a staple. Book of Moon, staple. Dark Hole is so good in this deck because of my three lances. It's just broke as broke. And Reborn is just also great too. Yeah. On to traps. We have double Macrocosmos. It's Macro Rabbit, so you have to run Macrocosmos. Some people main three, which is, I think, really stupid, because you don't want to be in a top decking battle with your opponent, which happens a lot, and draw into a macro. You just don't want that. So two is like the magic number, and it's been working great. Two Bottomless. This is good for a lot of decks and also against Mirror Match because they go Rabbit effect. Special summon either Sabersaurus or the Cobblezalls. It doesn't matter which one because they're both targets for Bottomless, and then they don't get their playoff, which is just awesome. Deep Prison because you just buying time, getting rid of troublesome monsters, etc., etc. So you can get your plays off next turn. Torrential is amazing in this deck. I love running it at 2 because you run the 3 lances, so if your opponent wants to overextend, because you have a field full of monsters, that's fine. You can just torrential, lance what needs to be lanced. Like obviously, you know, if you have a face-up defense position Zen mains, you're not going to lance the Zen mains because you care less about torrentialing a fucking Zen mains on your field. But like, let's say if you have like a Sabersaurus or something on board, then lance that shit, keep field presence, and win. Next you have 2 warning. Warning's just a great card. I don't really know what else to say. It's just too good. And then 1-ofs are Compulse and Mirror Force. Some people run 2 Mirror Force, and I guess it's not a bad top deck. I don't think Mirror Force is ever a bad top deck. It's just I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh so long, and I've gotten used to running 1. And same thing with Compulse. Compulse to me is just good at 1. It's not necessarily a bad top deck. It's just player preference, and that's ultimately what it comes down to. Next is the extra. I have it organized from ranks and attack mode. Just I have like OCD. So first is Zen mains. Easy to regret exceed. All my rank 3s are easy to regret exceeds, obviously, and he's just a wall, and yeah, he's just good. Tempo to fight the Zen mains. He's just really good too. He pumps up to what, 27, I think, which is pretty big. Gets over pretty much everything. Leviair. Leviair is like the key card in this deck. Since you run Macrocosmos, you have several targets in your banner stone and in your opponent's banner stone, so it opens up so many plays. Leviathan, he's a beater, and I don't know, that's pretty much all he is. Same thing for Acid Golem. The thing is though, is if I only really use Acid Golem if I'm in that really tight position, or if I need to crash into a BLS. Because obviously I'm not gonna go, I'm not gonna waste the card that I'm gonna show you next when I could just use an Acid Golem and get rid of it and not have to worry about burning myself for 2,000. So I go into Acid Golem if I need to crash into a BLS over Cowboy, just because I'd rather use Cowboy for his burning ability. That's won me so many games, being able to just, oh hey, how much life points do you have left? Okay, exceed something Cowboy defense mode. Okay, good game. It's just so good. Another really great card is Abyss Dweller. I side in Soul Drains when I play Mermails because Macro isn't enough and Dalka isn't enough for that deck. That deck is too OP in my opinion. So I go into Abyss Dweller, and Abyss Dweller does work. He's just really great. Shuts down their plays. Another good card is Maestroke. I use him for the same reason as Zen mains. You just use him as a wall. But in my opinion, he's more versatile than Zen mains because you can exceed summon him, and then 9 times out of 10, an opponent's monster's defense is less than its attack. So if you have a big beefy monster on the field, just Maestroke, change it to defense, koosh, and get over that. Foot on Papillopalpative, I just call him Pappy for short. He's really good against Mirror Match because they always have those frickin' Spirit Reapers, and they're a bitch to get over. Not if you have this guy. You just, okay, attack Spirit Reaper. Oh man, it's a Spirit Reaper. Okay, that's fine. Effect, bye bye Spirit Reaper. Have a nice day. Next are the obvious, the 2 Dalkas, effect negation, and 2 Logias, the Solemn Judgment on wheels. And then last but not least is Utopia, just because Utopia is a staller and a great card. So that's the deck, YouTube. Comment, rate, subscribe, and tell me if you like the new camera. Bye.